Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining Virtual Travel Escapes. It's our Paul Travel little web series that we wanted to share with you, and we're visiting different destinations and experiences from around the world in hopes to give you a little inspiration of where you might want to travel to next. And I think today might be one of those places you're going to want to add on to that bucket list. We're going to bring you a little bit of paradise. I know in Edmonton, it's a little bit of a gloomy morning. So I think this will be great inspiration to kind of get you thinking about some beach, some sun, and a little exotic country. So I hope you enjoy today. I'm Rhonda Swean, the leisure manager at Paul Travel, and joining me today, as always, my lovely co-host, Julie Beckdash. Good morning, Julie.
Good morning, Rhonda, and good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
So if any of you are new to our little web series, and I think I see a couple of new names on the list, so thank you so much for joining in, and welcome back to all of our viewers who have been with us over the course of several months doing this. So we really appreciate you taking the time. We have previously recorded webinars on our website. So it's paultravel.com/webinars. You'll see a whole list of all of the other destinations we've virtually explored. So please take a look there, and feel free to join in and explore some new areas that you might be thinking of. Now, next week, we're going to be taking a different trip, I guess you can say. It's going to be with AMA Waterways. They're joining us, one of the sales directors, and giving us a little taste of what river cruising is all about and what's new and exciting coming up. So that'll be April 15th at a regular time at 4 p.m. So of course, for today, I'm going to be, having Julie take over and welcome our wonderful guest today. If you have any questions at all throughout the presentation, please put them in the Q&A box or in the chat box. Any questions you have, or perhaps you've actually visited the Seychelles Islands. I tell you, I always stumble over that.
Seychelles.
All the way this morning, I kept saying, okay, Rhonda, this is how it's pronounced. And I kept running through my mind that, you get on stage and stage fright. Anyway, if you have been before, any questions, please put it in the Q&A box. So I'm going to turn this over to you, Julie, and maybe you can pronounce our wonderful destination a little bit better than me.
I think I've been dreaming about it all week, so it's ingrained in my mind because I'm about to take my bucket list and toss it out and just put Seychelles in there because wow, it's just a dreamy place. So yeah, so joining us today, as you see, we have David Germain. He is a Seychelles nationalist who speaks and writes French, English, and Creole. He has vast travel experience and has traveled to most European, African, Asian, and Latin American countries, traveling extensively in Africa as well, with a great understanding of Africa and its people, having lived there for the last 18 years. And he's joining us from Cape Town today. David is the Seychelles Tourism Board Regional Director for Africa and the Americas. He is responsible for implementing marketing strategy and activities to promote Seychelles as a choice exotic islands holiday destination and to ensure consistent annual growth of tourism arrivals in the Seychelles from those two continents. So I am pleased to welcome David, and you'll see he has the biggest, warmest, friendliest smile you've probably ever seen. So we're happy to have you with us today, David. Thank you so much for joining us. I'll hand it over to you.
Thank you, Julie, and thank you, Rhonda, for the opportunity to showcase the Seychelles to your audience. And good morning, everyone. It's a great pleasure to be with you today to show you our beautiful group of islands, the Seychelles. And I will be showing you a slide presentation, which will consist of information about Seychelles as a destination, the products and the services available in the country. And as Julie rightly said, please feel free to ask any questions that you want to know about the Seychelles. I am a local from the Seychelles, so I should be able to answer your questions. After the presentation, we can have a short video also of the Seychelles, which will give you a more complete understanding about the islands. Thank you. I will now share my screen with you. Oh, where is this screen now? Excellent. So to start, I'm showing you where the Seychelles is. Seychelles is a group of 115 islands located in the Western Indian Ocean. As you can see, we are about 2,000 kilometers of the east coast of Africa and northeast of Madagascar. But we are our own government and our own country. We are the Republic of the Seychelles. And this is the archipelago of the Seychelles in a little bit more details. On the left-hand side in the box, you can see the islands and then its proximity to the African continent. Seychelles is open now for visitors from all over the world. When the pandemic started all over the world last year, it reached the Seychelles very, very slowly, small infection rate around about the month of April. And immediately the authorities decided to close the whole archipelago to visitors. And we have remained closed for more than a year, about a year and a half. And at the same time, during that time, we've been doing a lot of work, putting in place all the things necessary for reopening of the destination. I must mention the fact that the Seychelles is totally dependent on tourism. Tourism is our main industry, and it touches the lives of nearly the whole 95,000 population of the inhabitants on the island. We certified all the properties, all the services in the archipelago, and we put in place all the guidelines and protocols as well. And we were very, very confident around February this year that we are ready to open the Seychelles in March, simply because we also got very, very lucky this year. During the month of February, we obtained a very big consignment of vaccines, mainly from India, enough to vaccinate our entire population. We have a very small population of 95,000 people. So it was quite easy to obtain herd immunity amongst the population. That's the reason why we open up to the whole world now. Vaccinated or not, you are allowed to come to enter the Seychelles. The procedure is rather simple: a negative COVID test 72 hours before a departure, and then you stay in a certified hotel in Seychelles and use certified services. Then there is great freedom of movement in Seychelles. You're allowed to change hotels as much as you want, move around the islands, and at the same time also go on tours and excursions. And there is no quarantine. When you arrive on the island, you can immediately go about doing all the activities that you want to do. All health and safety procedures are in place to ensure that the visitors will have a very safe holiday, and safety also for the local population as well. We have the guidelines and the latest update on the advisory link here, which is periodically updated. Now, why the Seychelles? First of all, Seychelles has a no visa policy for all nations of the world. Nobody requires a visa to enter the Seychelles. We are a year-round destination in terms of climate. We have a beautiful climate, 75 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit, no cyclones or hurricane in the Seychelles. And it's a very niche destination. Seychelles is not a mass destination. There's a lot of space, a lot of empty beaches, and lots of flora and fauna, plus 2 World Heritage Sites. Seychelles is known for its great conservation efforts, and nature abounds everywhere. Everywhere you go, on land and at sea. We have excellent diving, fishing, and snorkeling, and the people are extremely friendly, the local Seychellois people. We are a Christian nation. 90% of our population are Roman Catholic. And everybody speaks English and French in Seychelles, and Creole as well. And we are a very, very safe destination. More than 50% of our landmass has been dedicated to nature conservancy. Over and above that, there is no need for malaria and yellow fever certificates required unless you are coming from an affected area. For example, if you're traveling from Sao Paulo, Brazil, directly to Seychelles, yes, then it is needed. A yellow fever certificate is needed. But if you're traveling from, say, South Africa or somewhere else from the United States, direct to the Seychelles, then there is no need for a yellow fever certificate. As I mentioned earlier, we have 2 groups of islands in our archipelago, 41 granitic islands, and this is how they look. And we have 74 coral islands. These beautiful coral islands spread out in the Western Indian Ocean. A lot of them are uninhabited, and some of them, like this little island here, Bird Island, has a small tourist resort, which is very, very popular for diving, wedding as well, and a lot of honeymoon visitors go to this island. Our geography. 250 years ago, the islands of the Seychelles were completely uninhabited. We had only tortoise and birds, and they were visited by pirates who left treasures on the islands during those times, until the islands were visited by Portuguese explorer Vasco da Gama, visited the Seychelles 1502. Thereafter, we started having expeditions to Seychelles by the French and the British, until the French finally colonized the Seychelles. In 1756, they took possession of the archipelago and colonized the island. There were some fightings between the French and the British, and the British took possession of Seychelles in 1811, and we gained our independence from Britain in 1976. So we're virtually a very young nation, and it's a Republic of Seychelles, it's a multi-party democracy with a population of 95,000 people. Seychelles, as I mentioned earlier, is known for its flora and fauna and beautiful climate, and we call it the land of perpetual summer. It's always summer in the Seychelles. There you can see all the different conservation efforts that we continue to take in the Seychelles. We have a lot of marine park, a lot of national park. In Seychelles, it's not allowed to spearfish. You cannot do spearfishing in Seychelles. Not allowed to kill turtle, not allowed to kill dolphins. You cannot pick up live shells on the beach, and you cannot pay a fine if you are caught. It's imprisonment. Very, very strict laws to protect the environment. And we've been doing that for the past 40 years, and nature abounds everywhere. It's been a success story, which is used occasionally by UNWTO as an example of a small island state successful story in nature conservation. Today on the beaches of Seychelles, on public beaches of Seychelles, the sea turtles come and lay their eggs on busy beaches amongst tourists and locals, as if they know that they are protected. Here we can see the islands of Seychelles, the three main islands of Seychelles. The first one is Mahé. This is the principal island. This is where the airport is and where we have the main port as well. So wherever you're coming from in the world, you enter Seychelles via Mahé, either by air or by sea. And the second island is Praslin, which is about 21 miles away. And the third one is La Digue, which is about 15 minutes from Praslin. And the others are the surrounding islands around Mahé. Now we start with Mahé, the principal island. It's 27 kilometers long by 8 kilometers wide. And Mahé, as I mentioned, has the airport and port. It's where there's most of the economic activities, most government offices are there, and most hotels also located on Mahé. We will get to that later. The little town of Victoria, this is the capital of Mahé, with the replica of the Big Ben, which the British left us when they left. And the market is a busy place which visitors go to when they are in Seychelles, meet with the locals and buy spices and souvenirs. And this is what Seychelles is all about. Empty beaches, very niche destination, lots of space, and very, very quiet. You can find your own beach and spend your day on the beach without being disturbed. Beautiful beaches, nice warm Indian Ocean sea. If you look on the left-hand side, further down at the bottom, there's a gentleman snorkeling on his own. That's a daily sight in Seychelles. You don't need boats to go out and snorkel. You can snorkel from the beach and be amongst fishes 5-10 minutes in the sea. Accommodation in the Seychelles. We have a great variety of accommodation. Guest houses, which are owned by local Seychelles people. It's an opportunity to get close to our culture. Should you decide to stay in one of those nice warm accommodation, and they are very affordable as well, a way to get close to our way of life and see how we live. And then we have the 4-star accommodation. There's a lot of international brands in Seychelles. The Avani, the Hilton, DoubleTree are there, and a lot of resorts, beach resorts and hillside resorts are quite spread out. And now this is all about the 5-star hotel segment. We have a lot of international brands in Seychelles. This is Four Seasons. They have 2 properties in the Seychelles, the one on the main island here, which I'm showing you, and later on you'll see the island resort that they have. Kempinski is in Seychelles, and Hilton as well. They have 5 properties in the Seychelles on different islands. They are the biggest hotel groups in Seychelles, and the Anantara Maya Seychelles resort. And this is the real upper end of the hospitality in Seychelles with butler service. Moving on to Praslin Island, the second island in the Seychelles. It's 11 kilometers long, 4 kilometers wide. It has only small airstrips, different type of hotels with 15,000 inhabitants only. Praslin is a beautiful island. It's 21 miles from Mahé, and we have a ferry service between Mahé to Praslin every day. Lots of greenery, lots of nature reserve, and this is the Vallée de Mai Nature Reserve, which has the world's biggest nut. It's called the Coco de Mer nut, which grows only on Praslin Island and unique to the Seychelles. There you can see the beauty of the island with the stunning, beautiful beaches. And this beach actually is called Anslazio Beach. It's a beach which is voted by Condé Nast every year amongst one of the world's most beautiful beach. Praslin has a beautiful 5-star property as well. It's called the Lemuria Resort, and it has the only golf course in the Seychelles. Seychelles is not big on golf. Lemuria on Praslin Island has the only professional golf course. So anybody who wants to play golf when in the Seychelles, you need to book and go to Praslin at that hotel to play golf. And we have the Raffles Hotel in the Seychelles as well, located on Praslin, at a beautiful exclusive part of the island. Very, very nice property. And now we move on to La Digue Island, the third principal island of the Seychelles. It's 5 kilometers long by 3 kilometers wide. And La Digue is much, much more laid back and quiet, with a population of 5,000 people. And on the island, there's very limited vehicles. You can ride along in ox carts. Visitors and the residents, they ride on bicycles, or you simply walk. It's a very scenic island with a lot of these granite features which Seychelles is known for. Crystal clear water, and a lot of these little guest houses and villas, which is very appropriate for the island. And there are no 5-star establishments on La Digue, only up to 3 and 4-star properties. Very beautiful island. How to get about in the Seychelles? On Mahé, Praslin, there are public bus service, which the resident use to get about, and also visitors are allowed to take it, although not at this time, but in normal times, visitors can take the public bus. Otherwise, you can rent cars, jeeps, and mini-morgues, can use taxis and bicycles, and you can walk, hiking. We have a lot of nature trails in the Seychelles. It's very, very popular that visitors go on nature tours, guided tours, or they can go up by themselves. As I said, the Seychelles is a very, very, very safe destination. Should something happen at 9 o'clock in the morning, before the sunset, we will get to know who's done it, what has happened. The transportation between the islands, you have 3 options: the ferry service daily, during the day only, and then there's a little caravan flight between the islands, and then the helicopter services as well. Now we move on to another category of hotel in Seychelles, accommodation in Seychelles. In line with our conservation policy, the government has decided to allow for only one resort on one island. We call it the Robinson Crusoe category of accommodation. It's where you go on one island and one resort, and at times there are couples staying at the resort alone. They are the only couple, and they virtually have the whole island for themselves. This is 4 seasons. Desroches has their own island resort in the Seychelles. It's called Desroches Island, beautiful chalets, bungalow, and all surrounded by nature, with nature activities on land and at sea as well, so diving and snorkeling. Frigate Island, similar beautiful luxury accommodation. And Seychelles has also got their own island in the Seychelles with a different type of accommodation blend into the granite boulders. And this is the most popular of them all, North Island Resort. North Island is where Kate and William, the British royal couple, spent their honeymoon in the Seychelles at North Island for 10 days. They took the whole island and enjoyed the facilities of the island. A really beautiful island. And this is the top end of hospitality in Seychelles. Seychelles is also well known for fly fishing. We have an island called Alphonse with these big flats, which is very, very popular for fly fishing. And lots of Americans actually fly down to Alphonse for fly fishing when the season starts, which I think is around September, October, and do some very serious fly fishing on Alphonse. You can also cruise the Seychelles. We have cruise companies in Seychelles with the local vessel, like on the picture on the left-hand side, couple waiting for their Zodiac to bring them on board. And this is a weekly cruise around the 3 main islands of Seychelles with a program. And you have a crew on board and it's all catered for. And included in the program is diving, snorkeling, and a stop on each of the islands to visit the unique attractions of the islands. Otherwise, we have also international companies like Crystal Cruises will be stationing a medium-sized cruise ship in Seychelles from August this year. Seychelles has open entry for medium-sized cruise ships to be based in Seychelles only with a maximum of 300 passengers. And Crystal Cruises will be basing the Crystal Esprit vessel in Seychelles with a capacity of 300 passengers from August. This is a repetition of the program that they had in 2019. The same ship was in Seychelles, January, February, and then it got disrupted with the arrival of the pandemic. They had to leave the islands. So visitors can spend the entire holiday on the vessel and sail around the neighboring islands of the Seychelles. You can also rent your yacht and sail away by yourself. We have sailing companies like Moorings and Sunsail based in Seychelles, and visitors can travel to the Seychelles, rent one of those yachts with crew or without crew, and sail the islands. Dive when you want, snorkel when you want, and fish when you want. Beautiful way of discovering the islands, and very popular in Seychelles. People of Seychelles, we call ourselves the melting pot. We came from the abolition of slavery, the Indian Ocean islands, Seychelles, Madagascar, Réunion, Comoros, and so on. We all had slave settlements during the time of slavery. And after the abolition of slavery, then all the freed slaves on the island made up the population of the island today. And they consisted of 6-7 different nationalities: Arabs, Africans, mainly Black Africans, Indians, French, English, Polynesians as well. It's a great mix, but we all live in harmony together. And as I said, we are a Christian nation, 90% Roman Catholic and the rest Anglican, a little bit of Muslim faith as well, but we respect all faith. Our diet, we can virtually satisfy all tastes. We receive visitors from all over the world, and lots of fish dishes, obviously being islands. We cook a lot of nice dishes with beautiful aroma. There's plenty of spices, going free in Seychelles, lots of cinnamon growing wild on the island, vanilla, wild vanilla, nutmegs, and so on. So it's easy to come up with lovely dishes and coconut milk and beautiful octopus curry and nice grilled fish. But as I said earlier, if we need to cook halal, we do, vegetarian as well, as we receive visitors from all over the world. Beautiful diving in Seychelles and excellent fishing grounds as well outside of the Marine National Park. Seychelles is a very popular wedding and honeymoon destination. And a lot of wedding used to take place before the pandemic in Seychelles. And we have wedding program as well, and the certificates are acceptable all over the world. Cultural tourism, we have a lot of cultural tours, an excursion in Seychelles where visitors can learn about our past, about our history, and our normal way of life, our daily way of life. There's a very popular excursion which is called a day in the life of a Seychellois. Seychellois means a local, and you actually spend a day with a local at their home and see what we do when we wake up in the morning until we go to sleep. Air access, plenty from all over the world, from Europe, from the Americas as well. The 4 Middle East airline flies to Seychelles: Emirates, Qatar, Turkish, Etihad, and European Airlines. Currently, Emirates is the dominant airline to Seychelles, Emirates and Qatar, and the others will gradually follow as soon as the load gets better. A few frequently asked questions. When is the best time to visit the Seychelles? As I mentioned earlier, it's a year-round destination, Seychelles, except for the fact that July and August tends to get a little bit windy, and the sea gets a bit rough as well. This is in view of the fact that further up north above Seychelles, you have the Maldives island, and right above Maldives is India. And if you're familiar with India, you'll know that India gets a monsoon in July and August, and the whole Indian Ocean region gets a bit of rough sea and a bit of rain, but it is not heavy rain or to disturb your holiday. It's mainly passing showers. You find that when it rains in Seychelles, people continue walking. If you are walking, they get wet, and when the sun comes back, it dries you up again. No need for visa in Seychelles, as I mentioned earlier, for all nations. Shopping, shops and banking hours, the official hours is 8 to 4. Do I need a yellow fever? No, I've spoken about that. How do I travel around in Seychelles? I have covered that as well. Acceptable currencies, we accept all currencies, with the major currency being the dollar and euro. And we have banks, reputable banks in Seychelles, ATM, you can draw money. We accept traveler's checks as well. And our local currency in Seychelles is called the Seychelles rupees. It is around 12 rupees for $1, 15 for €1. And we always advise visitors to change a little bit of money when you get to the airport. There are always banks or bureau de change open with all arriving flights. It's good to change a little bit of local currency so that when you go around the islands to buy small things from local vendors, it makes it a lot easier. We accept most major credit cards as well for payments in Seychelles. And where can I change traveler's checks? At the banks and bureau de change. And travel essentials. What do you need to carry with you when you go to the Seychelles? Carry with you what you usually bring to exotic island destination: walking shoes, hats, and lots of sunblocks. Seychelles is quite warm. What do you wear in the evening? Dress casual. In 4 or 5-star properties, please no tie, no jacket, nothing. And during the day, you can walk in restaurants everywhere in shorts and t-shirts. And even in the evening as well, in the 2- and 3-star properties, it's just casual. So it's fairly easy. Seychelles has won consistently awards being the most beautiful islands in around the Middle East and Africa consecutively for the past consecutive years. The travel and leisure readers voted Seychelles for 4 years consecutively. And beautiful beaches, which Seychelles is known for. with these big granite features. And it's about an experience. Visiting Seychelles, you go out every day and discover the islands and meet the people and find your own beach for the day to snorkel and walk the beautiful trails that we have. It's our home, which we would want it to be your sanctuary as well. And that's why we keep protecting it and preserving it as it is. This is my contact details in case you need anything about the destination, my email address and our website address as well, but you can surely be assisted by Julie and Rhonda as well for anything that you need. Thank you very much. This is what I had for you about the destinations. And I will now stop sharing and move on to show you the short video that I have. Thank you once again. Jaden? Trying to share this. Trying to share this. The video is not playing.
Just while we're waiting for the video to get queued up, a reminder, if anybody has any questions, please put them in the Q&A box. We would love to hear from you. I know this looks like such an amazing destination. I think we're all excited about it and looking forward to seeing a little bit of the video. So again, any questions at all, please put it in the Q&A box. Thank you.
Also, I just wanted to mention, Tracy put in the chat, which I appreciate, is a tour, like a company where you can do a tour with a guide in real time. The website is HeyGo, and I just pulled it up and there's like probably 30 different tours around the world today. So you can actually, in like lifetime, you tour with a guide. And then it's, I believe it's just by donation that they, you know, at the end of the tour, and you can help sort of support them in doing what they love, just during this time where their industry has been so just at a standstill. So that's really neat. Thanks for sharing that, Tracy. Appreciate that. David, I had a question while you're putting that, getting the video started. How long is the ferry ride between Mahe and Prale?
1 hour.
Oh, okay, just 1 hour.
Just 1 hour, yeah. Just need to share it.
It's funny, it looks like the screen, our screen is covering the play button. I don't know if that's what the problem is, but we just practiced it and it was fine.
Yeah, we're just trying to get it now.
You know, that's technology. That's just the way it goes. It's all good. But Julie, doesn't it just make you want to just dive into that beautiful ocean and just visit those islands?
Oh, so much so. I love everything about it.
I know. And it's been kind of one of those places that I've always had on the back of my mind of where I would love to travel to. And now I just realize, it's such a great add-on if you're going to Africa and you want to spend a little bit of time after a safari, just R&R, or, even going to the Middle East and then continuing on. It's like, it's paradise. Looks so amazing.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those places where you see a picture of it and it's like, where in the world is that?
Exactly.
David, we can always send out the video to everybody after as well.
Yeah,
It's no problem.
1 second, please.
Okay, okay.
We think that Major, I've just got it now. Let's see.
Okay. David, another question, if you can answer while you're getting that together, is do people go to the Seychelles for long stay vacations, like maybe for 3 weeks, maybe at one of a homestay or anything, or what would be?
Yes, but majority of Americans go to the Seychelles as an extension. Either to an African safari, or after an African safari, or a Dubai holiday for 3-4 nights thereafter, to rest mainly. However, when you speak to the hotels like the Four Seasons and Six Senses and so on, they tell us that they do have their own clientele that comes directly to Seychelles. And there they stay for about 10 to 12 days with them.
What would the average stay be in the Seychelles that you would say most people, because like they are doing an extension? Is it a week or 3 or 4 days?
No, it's about 4 days, yes. Yeah. We can see the video here, but somehow we just can't get it on.
That's okay, David. Not to worry. As Julie mentioned, we can always send it out to everybody.
Okay, one moment.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah, we just have to get it to play.
If you hit enter, does it play?
Yes, we just need to get it to play.
There we go.
Yeah.
Bienvenue aux Seychelles. Vive le soleil in my eyes. Welcome to the Seychelles.
Je me souviens de cette eau, plus sucrée que salée, des perles sur ta peau, comment t'oublier? Tendresse du matin doré, sous le soleil des Seychelles, tu es ma plus belle, parfumée de vanille. Et moi, je respire l'air de la liberté, pour tous les oiseaux fatigués qui traversent la Méditerranée.
Thanks, David. It just looks like heaven on earth. Oh my gosh, can't wait to visit. Thank you again so much for your time and your passion, your persistence, getting that video. That was well worth the wait. Yeah, thank you so much. And we just love you being with us. Thank you to our clients and friends that have joined us today as well. And we look forward to seeing everybody next week.
Yes, thank you. Thanks so
Thank you,
much.
everybody.
Okay.
Have a great day, everybody. And good night, David. Thanks again for joining us all the way from Cape Town. Appreciate it.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.